Big Flex, broadcasting from the Marriott. You already know the vibes. It's your guy. Um, I'm not gonna wait. I'm just recording this, and y'all can catch this when you catch this because I got some other things I need to do. But I know it, and I know I'm hearing it very well. That people are, and when I say people, I mean the people of the sun, as we always have been. Don't categorize us as quote unquote black. There's more to us. Now, it's like we never even put in a legislative movement for Juneteenth. This wasn't something that as a committee of the cultured people of this land, the culturers of this land, not the colonizers, but being those people, we never had a conversation as a whole. Because we would have had that conversation as a whole, I would have known about it. There would have been many of us that have known about it. That conversation hasn't been had, but yet we have this fishbone Juneteenth national holiday recognition. Now, I'm not speaking because I come from a love place, and I always come from a love place, but you got to understand that we're living in a place where they manipulate our emotions. And I don't care about the why they're doing something, because if you knew about Obama's administration, then you would know and understand, okay, they playing whole games with you. They just put a bro in the seat so you could stay in position. There's so much to be done. How about, I'm going to teach y'all something real quick. Do you know that you can, we can, not you can, we can obtain reparations through the court system? We have to design what those reprievals would look like. We have to not be the realistic, because there's obvious and there's evidence. So we have no issue with our argument on gaining reprieval. Just speaking about Tulsa is enough to speak about reprieval, that we were not even worried about y'all. In fact, we are positioned off of whatever we were taught all of this bullshit that is very, your professionalisms and your hot cuisines and all the rest of that are very low. There's no flavor in them. There's no true professionalism or compassion within your business forms. Our ancient abilities and ways have been simple, just, and absolute. Ashe. I will continue in conclusion to say this. You're throwing us a bone, to which we're not gonna say too much. We don't care about it. We're over here developing in the shadows because we know how to deal with you monsters. We're gonna tell you what we're doing. We're gonna complain to the predator on what is going down in our hearts and minds for our next generations. Nah, cut it out. Because every time we've tried to create a space of equality, which you can't have equality, I'm not going to get into that, but you can't have equality with the predator, parasite. What? It's eating off of you. It's consuming you. Okay? There's no equal there. So remember that. Remember the burning crosses. Remember the sheer harassment. Remember the emancipation movement, I'm going to call it the anti-emancipation movement, where you had sheriffs and all of these deputies create a police force with the government to simply just combat slaves. They took the sheriffs that were in town, because sheriffs had a different position at one point when it was just them. But as soon as we got integrated, so to speak, or started to move around, they took the police that we had for our side, because the police that they had created for us was for slaveries, for slaves. So if you're a runaway slave, they're coming for your ass. It was to keep you in check. Their ability to use the law was for parlay. I don't know if you guys understand what parlay is. They used this word in the 90s, like, yo, we about to parlay. But that word is a derivative bigger than the Pirates of the Caribbean, buddy. It's when people are going to discuss something of politics that might not be friends, two warring enemies. Let's have a parlay. Okay, peace for the moment. And let's discuss and see if we can meet in the middle. If we can't, then tomorrow we're back at war. That's what a parlay is. Um, just to say this, not for discouragement, but for acknowledgement. We are not in the position to request anything from a space that they have destroyed. If we were asking our native brothers and sisters for unity on a land that they had inhabited previously, and we acknowledge that they have inhabited it, then that makes sense. That's dope. But we're talking to individuals who lie about crossing the seas. They lie about taking big Africans on a boat. Do the math, y'all, real quick. Big Africans, hundreds of them, chains, whatever, hundreds of them. I'm gonna tell you scenarios after. And then you got a crew, maybe like 30, maybe 30 at the most, white men. Some of them were the Slavics. They definitely had peg boys. If you don't know what a peg boy is, they made a little boy sit on a peg because they didn't want women on there to get them pregnant. Use your imagination. Peg boy. It's like buck breaking. They was breaking their own boys. This is the individual we're dealing with, son. Same motherfuckers that give you Juneteenth. Same people that censor me on Facebook. That censor Reza Islam on Facebook. These are the same people. These are the same people that said they discovered something and keep a narrative of that so you come into beliefs and entitle them into power. Because they know that you put something in place and you keep it annual in celebration, then that becomes the history, that becomes the culture of the individuals who are celebrating that. Why you don't think they celebrate the Emancipation Proclamation? How come we don't celebrate that? Like really, really celebrate that with detail. Why do you think Black History Month is so vague? Oh, let's thank Rosa Parks for da-da-da-da-da, but you ain't gonna talk about, like, that took a lot of her conversation and thought with other brothers, definitely brothers and sisters, in order for her to say, you know what, it's time to protest. It's time to make a stand. We want to act like this shit is magic. There's magic and there's reality in magic, but the cameras is fronting on you. I was going to say we fronting for the cameras. The cameras is fronting on you. They have put together in place a lineage of history that is false narrative. Say it long enough and people will believe it. I had an individual in my life tell me that another individual was unsavory, and I was a child. And I grew up learning about that. How do you think I treated the individual that I was told was unsavory? That I was told was this, that, and the other. Just like how Asian people treat Black people in Queens. Spit in front of them. I've been a victim of that. Not a victim, but I've been an individual that's had to deal with that. We talk about no Asian hate. You're making a mockery of the people of the sun, the majority of the people of the world. I don't care what you call yourself, Poppy. You're still one of us. Ik praat in Netherlands. I don't care what allemaal een praat zo. You're still one of us. Because when these other ones, Pinky, want to get their little brain ideas going, they separate you, they identify you, they call you a zebra. They put you in a box. And then they put trinkets in that box so then you can be like, oh, word, so this is my home. They were putting us in zoos at one point, yo. But you worried about Juneteenth and being happy and putting your pride. How you got pride? You should just be gracious for life, for the courtesy of lineage. That your ancestors said, I'm going to put something together so they can see me in the future. That's how we time travel. I want my future to see me. I want to be present in my future, in fact. That don't mean that you gonna be there. That just means that you gonna be there. I ain't gonna take up too much time. Got some events to go to because as a whole of people, we're gonna celebrate together because that's what we do. That's what you have to do in this space. But I want everybody to keep in mind that reparations can happen, but it'll be under the tone that no individual who engages in education in this society that identifies as an American, quote unquote, black, people of the sun. You know they ain't gonna put people of the sun. That'd be too much. That would represent too much understanding. Saying people of the sun every day as an individual. Say you're the master of your own time and say as an individual every day and see what that does for your life. Amazing shit. Vibrations move mountains. Vibrations make mountains. Tectonic plates shaking them. You feel me? To rise. You smell me? So it's just important to identify who is giving you the birthday cake so you can know what's in it. So you know how it was made. You know the quality. Because you will have a greater understanding of what you're consuming if you know the creator. And you just don't consume it because of necessity. So you're eating all of these foods out here, but you're not thinking about who creates these foods, who puts these foods together for you. Be the dope you want to smoke. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. We will rise. My space is coming very soon. Very soon. Grand support is here. I appreciate y'all. Please share this. Show people. Love people. Define yourself in greatness. Be the dope you want to smoke. And steam on life. You're the master of your own time and space. The embodiment of infinite possibilities. Gina Me Ashe. And you say flex. Time to have. Hey.